Probably the best two, well, excuse me, the best game out of today's doubleheader. Memphis Grizzlies, Golden State Warriors. Final score 117, 116. Golden State takes it over the Memphis Grizzlies. Phenomenal game. Phenomenal game. I don't even know where I want to start with it, to be honest with you. Maybe. Um, let's talk about the ejection of Draymond Green, which personally was a lot going on with that play. I felt like the flagrant two was a little bit much. Maybe just stick with just the flagrant one. But just the fact that Draymond was trying to prevent the shooter from going down during the course of the play, I felt like it definitely shouldn't have came down to being a flagrant two, leading into an ejection. That's just my honest opinion. But considering that Draymond is their best defender and the 3-point barrage in the third quarter, especially, and the Golden State Warriors' inability to put a hat on and Jaren Jackson in the third quarter was obvious. Um, in this game, Jaren Jackson had 33 points. I know he ended up being the leading scorer during the course of this game, but I feel like the X factor in this game was definitely Jaren Jackson. I believe on the season he was shooting what 31% from the 3-point line, and today he was like what 7 of 8, if I'm not mistaken. 14 points, 14 points in the third quarter. So he was definitely doing his thing from a 3-point line. And then since we lose Draymond, the Golden State Warriors lose Draymond, they sacrificed paint defense too as well, because you ended up having to they had to pick their poison. The Golden State Warriors literally had to pick their poison when it came down to how they wanted to defend Ja. And it was obvious. They needed to put a hat on Ja. And it led to Gary Payton Jr. starting this game where the lineup ended up being Gary Payton, Steph Curry, Jordan Poole, and Draymond Green. I'm sorry. I had just lost it there for a second. But they definitely needed to put a hat on Ja because Ja could take this game over, and it showed early on in the game. One of the things that me personally, I'm sorry, I don't think Memphis is on the offensive level as far as being able to score consistently on the level of Golden State, but the Memphis Grizzlies have enough energy for them to get in transition, for them to get their buckets. But just it's nothing new. It's just a thing of beauty how Golden State is able to move the ball around and able to get contributions from a whole bunch of different guys. Like Steph had 24, Andrew Wiggins had 17, Clay had 15, which he was about to cost me a bet today. I ended up taking the Golden State Warriors straight up money line, excuse me, end up missing that free throw at the end of the game, which it could have been detrimental. And then, of course, Jordan Poole, 31 points in this game. I believe they had a graphic up on the screen where it came when it was John Morant, Jordan Poole, and Jaren Jackson are the first time in NBA history where three players under, I believe it was like 25 that scored over 30 points. That's like never happened in a playoff game. But defensively for the Memphis Grizzlies, I see what the Golden State Warriors they're trying to tire out Ja on as far as defensively. Ja can't just be sitting in the corner, not exerting his energy, keeping his energy, and watching everybody else play defense. The Golden State Warriors in this series, and that separates the regular season from the playoffs. They are going to make sure that Ja exerts as much energy as he possibly can on the defensive side. So they're going to try to find Jordan Poole if he switched on Ja. They're going to try to find Clay. They're going to try to find Steph on the consistent ball movement that they have going on. Ja is going to have to work on both ends of the floor, and we're definitely going to see what Ja has as far as on the defensive end, if he's going to be able to still be efficient on the offensive side of the basketball. But again, man, like a phenomenal game. It was very, very phenomenal. It was definitely, I was definitely intrigued of how the ball movement of the Golden State Warriors and the transition and energy of the Memphis Grizzlies was gonna be, and it was nothing short but spectacular. Now, game two, I believe they're going to strongly try to feed off of Jaren Jackson Jr. again. Like nobody was expecting Jaren Jackson to go off for 33 points, especially the way he was shooting from the 3-point line. So that definitely Draymond was definitely missed during in the second half of the game with Jaren Jackson in the post on the perimeter. But we'll see. A close game, 117 to 116. Uh I honestly don't even know where this one's gonna go. Honestly, it all depends. It all depends on Clay and Steph because they can't have they. I don't think they can have another slow start the way that they had this evening. Especially they was in foul trouble. I believe they was going into the second half with three fouls apiece, and they definitely can't do that. They definitely cannot go into the second half with three fouls moving forward in this series. Speaking of fouls, Jared, that's probably why you don't probably don't get much out of Jared Jackson either, because he ends up with, I think he averages like what, 4.5 fouls a game or something like that. So he phenomenal defender, but if he can get it right on offense, he could be dangerous for the Memphis Grizzlies in this series. But it's definitely going to be a phenomenal series. Definitely going to be phenomenal.
Nah, for the bay. Nah, for the bay. We don't care what you said. Nah, for the bay. Nah, for the bay. Nah, for the bay. We ain't hearing what you say. Nah, for the bay. Fire!